Welcome to the boardroom. Today, we are taking your Cambridge Information Technology 9626 exam and treating it exactly like a high-stakes corporate pitch. I mean, think about it. The examiners, they're basically your board of directors. You wouldn't just waltz into a major career-defining presentation without solid evidence, a bulletproof strategy, and flawless execution, right? Exactly. So today, we're going to break down exactly what the board is looking for in one of the most critical areas of your entire syllabus. Now, take a look at this. The crucial takeaway here is topic 1.4, verification methods. We're talking specifically about visual checking and double data entry. Guys, this single topic accounts for a massive 15% of your total marks in paper 2. Just think about that. That is a huge slice of the pie. If you're gunning for those top-tier grades, you absolutely cannot afford to just gloss over this section. It's literally an essential asset in your exam portfolio. All right, so here's our strict game plan for today to lock in those marks. We're going to cover the 15% stake, dive into the core principles, walk through a 5-step procedure, look at execution and analysis, pinpoint those sneaky examiner traps, and finally wrap up with the method mark strategy. Let's get right to it. Starting off with our first item, the 15% stake. Let's see how securing this asset builds your foundation for the rest of paper 2. Listen, you don't just have to take my word for it. A senior examiner literally went out of their way to highlight this exact statistic. It brilliantly illustrates why we're treating this topic with the utmost strategic importance today. When 15% of your entire mark is hanging on whether or not you truly get visual checking and double data entry, well, you need way more than just a surface-level understanding. You need to know the mechanics inside and out. Moving right along to the core principles. This is all about achieving that analytical depth the examiners crave. So what's really fascinating here is understanding exactly what the examiners are targeting in your cognitive domains: knowledge, application, and analysis. The Cambridge Assessment Framework heavily prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth. Basically, what that means for you is that you've got to structure your reasoning logically. Just memorizing and regurgitating basic facts without context, yeah, that's not going to cut it anymore. If you just write down the definition of double data entry without explaining why it's being used in a specific scenario, you're just skimming the surface. The board wants you to dive deep. They need to see evidence-based reasoning. You see, verification isn't just giving the data a casual once-over. It's a systematic analytical process. Whether you're breaking down visual checking, literally comparing transcribed data right against the original document, or explaining double data entry, where data is typed in twice and the system automatically flags any mismatches, you have to pitch your understanding of these methods using established principles. You got to prove that these methods ensure the data matches the original source perfectly. All right, on to step 3. We're getting into the 5-step procedure. Think of this as your technical methodology for the exam. To guarantee those top marks, our subject specialists have put together a highly structured 5-step procedural framework. You can deploy this straight into your exam like a boardroom strategy. It is literally your blueprint for transforming raw IT facts into a high-scoring, flawless answer. Here's how it goes. First, deconstruct the question. Second, extract the relevant data. Third, select your analytical framework. Fourth, execute with crystal clear notation. And finally, present the whole package using the correct IT terminology. Boom. Now you might be asking yourself, how do top students survive multi-stage analysis without dropping marks? It's a fantastic question because multi-stage analysis is exactly where so many students completely stumble. Before we reveal the secret to navigating this, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations, and hit the bell icon right now. Okay, let's dive right into the critical evaluation tactics required for execution and analysis, utilizing the Deconstruct, Solve, Evaluate matrix. Whenever you're evaluating evidence quality, whether it's for visual checking or double data entry, you absolutely have to be methodical. You need to identify the given information, break the problem down into logical steps, and solve it systematically. But wait, it doesn't stop there. You've got to check for reasonableness. What are the limitations? What assumptions are being made? How do alternative interpretations actually affect your conclusions? You have to pull all this together to make justified recommendations if you want to secure the highest possible marks. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We're literally building your complete exam playbook right here, so make sure you do this to ensure you never miss our weekly strategies. And this table brilliantly illustrates the strict presentation conventions you must follow when pitching your extracted data to the examiner. Listen, presentation matters immensely. You need proper headings, the absolute correct IT vocabulary, contextually appropriate formats, and really clear logical annotation. Honestly, a brilliant analysis that's presented poorly, it's kind of like showing up to a corporate pitch in your pajamas. It just immediately undermines your authority. Next up, examiner traps. Let's uncover exactly where the principal examiners see students bleeding marks and how to navigate those pitfalls. So if you look at the principal examiner reports, there are exactly 3 fatal mistakes that students make year after year when evaluating verification methods. These are traps set right in the middle of your paper, just waiting to catch you off guard. Here's the crucial point. Applying the right theoretical framework to the wrong corporate or technical context will instantly derail your pitch. You'll lose marks right out of the gate. Listen carefully to these 3 traps. Number 1, using the wrong approach for the specific context given. Number 2, forgetting to check those format and presentation conventions we just talked about. And number 3, honestly, this is the most common one, providing generic textbook answers that aren't specific to the actual scenario in the paper. Look at the difference here. Notice how the winning pitch relies heavily on extracting relationships and drawing evidence-based conclusions that are completely anchored to the context. A flawed pitch just lazily says, oh, double data entry prevents errors. But a winning pitch, it says, in this specific hospital database scenario, visual checking of the patient IDs against the intake form prevents life-threatening medical record overlaps. See the difference? Context is literally everything. Finally, we reach the most vital corporate strategy of all, protecting your investment through the method mark strategy, your ultimate exam safety net. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this explicit examiner alert. Here's a crucial revelation for you. Examiners will actually reward your systematic processing, even if your final execution slightly misses the mark. If you don't show you're working, you lose, plain and simple. But if you do show you're working, and you clearly map out your analysis with proper notation, those method marks can entirely save your grade, even if a final calculation is slightly off. So here's a great memory hack for you. Always create a custom acronym for the factors affecting visual checking and double data entry before you even start writing. Deploying a quick hack like this ensures you systematically apply the relevant principles and verify your results before committing anything to paper. For instance, right when you sit down, just jot down an acronym to remind you to check the source, the method, the limitations, and the context. Having that mental checklist ready to go, it gives you total confidence. All right, so this is your ultimate IT 966 cheat sheet for mastering verification methods and totally commanding the boardroom. Let's recap. First, decode those command words instantly so you know exactly what cognitive domain you're working in. Second, strictly apply the deconstruct, solve, evaluate framework to guarantee analytical depth. Third, double-check your presentation format. And fourth, above all else, always show your logical working to capture every single method mark available. For your final reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. And drop a comment below with your target grade and your biggest IT challenge. We absolutely want to see you succeed. So are you leaving your 15% stake to chance? Or are you ready to show your working and pitch a flawless, winning strategy to the board? Because remember, in the Cambridge boardroom, an answer without solid evidence is just a guess. You've got the systematic frameworks now. You know exactly what examiner traps to dodge, and you understand the power of analytical depth. So, when you sit down with that paper and topic 1.4 is staring right back at you, how will you justify your strategy?